Lisa from newlifeontheroad.com. I just wanted to give you a quick update what happened to me on my way home yesterday. I didn't think I could write about it because you wouldn't believe it. If you read the words you would have gone, yeah, right. But I drove down to Brisbane the day before and to take my son to the airport. He was flying to family for for a week. He's gone down to my brother's for a week. And I thought it would be better to actually drive him down instead of putting him on a train from here. And then he had to catch a train to the airport, and he had 2 aeroplanes to catch as well. And I thought, oh, that's a bit much. It's a very long day. He would have to be on the train here at 5 o'clock, and he wouldn't be getting down there until really late. So I thought I'll be the good mom, the panicky mom. But anyway, I thought I'd drive him down to the airport. So I did, and we got there okay, and he caught his plane, and he got the connection, and he got there, and he's having a ball as far as I know, hopefully. And I stayed at a friend's house that night, because I didn't want to come back in one day. I thought it'd be too much driving for me. And then I left yesterday morning about 8:30. Trying to think, yeah, it was about 8:30, and I was going really well. I always check the temperature in the car. I've always done it. I always look down every few minutes. Yep, temperature's okay. And I looked, and nothing was beeping, nothing was flashing, temperature was fine, everything was beautiful. And I got just past Gympie Matilda's, the really big one on your left hand side if you're going up north. If you're coming down, then of course it's on your right side. It's a really big Matilda, you can't miss it, just before Gympie. I think it's like 15 minutes before Gympie. And there was a little side street afterwards that I had seen a trailer out the front of their yard, this really big trailer advertised for sale. And I had noticed it on our way down, and I said to my son, oh, I must remember on my way home to stop and check the trailer out. Well, I nearly drove past it. It was only at the last second that I saw it, so I quickly pulled off the highway into the street. And I went into this car park, and I didn't even realise it was an actual shop front for, well, it was an actual building and a car park for rocks and fossils and gems. And I didn't even realise it was there. I've been driving past it, I don't know, for the last 10 years or whatever, and I've never noticed it. So I jumped out and I said to the guy, oh, I'm here to check out the trailer. We need a trailer. We're just about to get ready to travel around Australia, so we need a trailer to carry the Pajero in. And I know it's not lined or with walls or anything, but it's got a really great base, and I just want to check it out. And I said to the guy, oh, hang on a sec, before I check the trailer out, I just want to find out what's going on in the car. I smelt something funny as I jumped out. And I pulled the bonnet up, and again, nothing was flashing at me. The temperature was fine in the indicator in the car. The oil was fine. And I pulled the bonnet up, and there is oil everywhere. And I'm not like saying just an oil leak that you can just see a little bit here and there. It's everywhere. And I'm like, whoa. And while we're talking to the guy and he's looking at the engine for me, it's dripping on the ground. There is oil everywhere. And he looks up, and inside of the bonnet, it's all over that. And I'm like, that's a big oil leak. And he's like, you have a big oil problem. And I got onto the phone to Dave, and I'm like, Dave, the car's got oil everywhere, can't see where it's come from. So the guy goes in and gets me paper towels, and we get the oil stick out, and we do an oil test. No, there's no oil on the stick. And David had done a service on the car 2 days before I left. He'd done an oil change, and he'd done a water change, and he flushed it all out and gave it a good clean and said to me, oh, you'll be right, nothing will go wrong, the car's going really well now. Well, did he jinx me? I was debating to ring RACQ because we're an extra member, or whatever it's called, a bronze member or something. We've got all the privileges. We pay a fortune for it, but it's a really good membership to be in. And I was debating whether to ring them, and then I thought, how far is the petrol station? I'll just go and get some oil. And the guy wonderful guy, ended up closing the shop. It wasn't his shop, he's just working there for the weekend. He closed the shop up, and he goes, oh, I'll take you up the road and we'll get some petrol. I was like, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, I'll take you up and we'll get some, not petrol, some oil. So I go up the shop, and I get this big container of oil, because David's like, you need to put a litre in. So I take it back, I don't know, is it 4 litres or something, the biggest bottle. And I think it might be 5 litres. I'm standing at the car and the guy's like, I still think you should call RACQ before you put the oil in, just to make sure. And I looked at the road and it was chock-a-block, bumper to bumper. It slowed down by then, and before that it was really a good drive. It wasn't like that. And I thought, I don't want to be stuck in traffic and something goes wrong, and I don't want to be crawling in traffic and something goes wrong. So I did. I called RACQ, and then they like, it takes 90 minutes before someone can see you. We're really busy today, being a public holiday. I'm like, no worries, whatever. So I go in, and this wonderful guy gives me a cup of water and somewhere to sit. And it didn't seem like 90 minutes. I think it was less than 90 minutes. RACQ turn up, and it's this really young guy. I'm like, ooh, he's about 17. Does he know what he's talking about? Funny enough, I found out afterwards he's in his 30s. And he looks and he goes, oh, you've got a major oil problem. And he gets underneath the car and he's like, oh, it's leaking oil and water. So he gets back up and he has a look. Oh, there's no water in the radiator at all. It's bone dry. He's like, that's really weird. You should have been, everything should be beeping. Like, your temperature should have told you you've got no water. It's overheating. I'm like, no, nothing's telling me anything. So he gets out the water out of the RACQ ute, pours all the water into the radiator where it's supposed to be, and it doesn't move. And he has the engine going and the water's not moving. And he goes, oh, you've blown a head gasket. And I'm like, what? I'm not even at home. I'm in Gympie. I gotta get home. So I was like, okay, what can happen? So RACQ, backwards and forwards. And I'm ringing Dave, and I'm like, they can't get anything for me because it's a public holiday. And I hadn't updated our move details on my license. I didn't think to. I haven't had time to. And so they won't take me from Gympie to Bundy because as far as they're concerned, on my license it says we live at Glasshouse. And I'm like, so David's updating the details as fast as he can on his side with RACQ, and they're putting a note in so when I speak to an operator, they can see the note there that we've moved, and this is the new details, and this is the new address, and backwards and forwards. 4 hours later since I was there, and I'm still trying to work out how to get home. Sorry, we can't give you a car. It's a public holiday. There's no cars available. We don't know how to get you home. I'm like, I don't care how you get me home. Get me home. And they couldn't give me a train ticket. I don't know why. And I'm going, I've got no money on me. Dave's got money up his end. How am I going to get home? A tow truck ended up getting organised. And they can tow me into Gympie, into their holding yard, but they can't tow the car any further. That's the rules and regulations of our policy. That's what we can do for you. And I'm like, fine, do that. Take the car to Gympie. I don't know how to get home. And in the end, David's backwards and forwards on the phone to RACQ, and they are marvellous. In the end, they're like, we're really, really sorry. We've been discussing your case in our office. We'll actually tow your car today to Gympie. Tomorrow we'll tow it from Gympie all the way up to Bundy. I was like, fantastic. I still cannot get home, but I'm over the moon thinking, okay, my car's taken care of. Excellent. David ends up driving down to get me. So he leaves 4 kids at home watching DVDs, and I'm panicking by this stage thinking, God, I hope Carl's okay. He's only 5. Zach's really good with them, but I'm still panicking. 3 hours it takes David to get through from the traffic to get me. It's about 5:30 by then. So from 11:30 in the morning to about 5:30, I'm still sitting there waiting, and this guy is entertaining me in his shop, or his friend's shop. He's working for his friend, giving me the most amazing stories. He reads the same books as I do on spiritual and wealth creation and inspiration, and we have so much in common, and we're just chatting away, which is kind of good because it wasted so much time. And he's a granddad, and so we had a lot to talk about with kids, and he's got 3 daughters that are all grown up and married, and it was a wonderful time. But I'm waiting and waiting. Finally, David picks me up at 5:30, and we're like, phew, I'm on the road. He gets to check out the trailer that I wanted to look at. So that was a bonus. And we get to just trying to think. Is it Childers? yeah, we get to Childers and we pull over to the petrol station because we need more petrol in the ute, and the ute's only a 2-seater. And we finish putting petrol in, and you're not going to believe it. The car won't go. And I'm like, no, this cannot be happening. No way. No, I want to go home. I just want to get home. So a guy comes over with his battery and puts his battery into the car and charges it up, and we put our battery back in, and oh, thank God, we head off down the road and it's going fine. It starts to lose the lights. And I'm like, unbelievable. This cannot be happening in one day. And I'm just looking at David and looking at the lights, and I'm trying so hard not to cry by this stage. I'm going, no, this is just not happening. I just want to get home. So we are pulling over, and he's fixing, because he taped all the wires back in for the battery because it had a loose connection. So he'd borrowed sticky tape from the petrol station, and he's rearranging all the wires, and then he breaks a pencil and puts the pencil into the wire and then puts tape around it. And we would go for so long, and then the lights just dim again and dim right out, and we have to pull over and do the whole thing again. We did not get home till 10:30. So from 5:30 till 10:30, we were trying to get home, and we're not that far from Gympie to Bundy. I was shattered when I got home. I just went, where's my boys? Okay, they were asleep, and the older one was looking after them. He'd give them the dinner, and he'd fed them and showered them and put them to bed, and I was like, oh, thank God they're okay. But how freaky is that, for all of that to happen in one day? Would you believe it? I would not believe it if I hadn't have been there. And I'm a big believer in the universe provides for what we ask for. So I'm thinking all the way home, what have I asked for today? Come on, what have I asked for? I just want to get home. So it really questioned a lot of things. Was I meant to stop and look at that trailer? Definitely was meant to, because if I had kept going, I would have blown the whole engine. Instead of just the head gasket, I would have seized the whole lot, because I had no indication that anything was wrong. So I was definitely meant to stop at that trailer, and definitely meant to meet the guy inside, because we had the most amazing talk. We had so much in common. He was a granddad. He was into positive mind thinking, positive books, into healing himself. It was just amazing conversation. And then when we were at Childers, we had all that help from the lady in the petrol station, from the lady, from the guy in a ute. So we had so many people helping us out. So, okay, I was upset that it took so long to get home, but I was over the moon that I got home. And I just think life's amazing. It provides for you in many different ways. So you just need to think about it. Really think about what you want in your life and ask for it, because it will come to you. I'm still trying to think how much I got out of yesterday, and how much it's going to take me to recover, because I was just, by the time I crawled into bed, it was close to midnight. I had to clean the house up after the kids had looked after themselves. So I crawled into bed at midnight, and I was starting to feel really sick because I was so tired by then, thinking, oh wow, what an adventure we had today. And I wouldn't believe it unless I was there. If someone had said to me, that's going to be your day, I would have gone, get real. But our car is being delivered today from Gympie. It came back with the same tow truck driver, and it got here safe. And David's going to be able to fix it. And I have met some wonderful people in the progress. And so I'm just saying, check out your life. Ask for what you want, and it will come to you in very weird ways sometimes. But thanks for watching for what happened with me yesterday. Lisa from newlifeontheroad.com. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.